Hello, we're back at Pasadena Pioneers, and with us today, and I should say back with us today, is Janie Henrich, who's with Mobility Dog. How are you?
Doing well, thank you. So nice to be back. Thank you.
Yeah, when was it that you were here last? Was it during COVID? It seems like it was a long time ago.
I think about a year and a half, 2 years ago.
Yeah, maybe.
It's been a spell.
Yeah, because we met, or at least I met you through the Chamber of Commerce.
Correct.
And we had you on here, and you even brought one of your dogs, which you didn't do today because of the heat.
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, I'm really excited about this because we're going to catch up, find out what you've been up to, how your mobility dog is progressing, and maybe some events that you have coming forward. But I'm sure that our audience would just love to know, what's new with you and how are the dogs, of course. So let's start off by reintroducing you because there might be a lot of people out there that didn't see the first segment. Janie is the founder and CEO and executive director of Mobility Dog. She's partnered with her service dog, Beckett. So your mission is you help people with mobility disabilities gain functional independence through service dogs, community, and education. And,
Correct.
That's how you got involved in this, right? Could you tell us about your story again and how you came up with the idea and how it all started?
Yes. I had a spinal cord injury, and when I was coming home from the hospital with the home health care, when you're in the hospital for a while and you have a either DNA-coded disease or from an accident, when you come home, it's like a whole new world. And my occupational therapist at the time, who brought me home and checked at the house, and my spine specialist and neurologist all said, Janie, you need to ask for help. And it's like, no, I need to do it myself. And they recommended that I get a service dog. I had a 2-year-old standard poodle at home, Phoebe, who was really well trained, but I couldn't even take care of myself, let alone her, and couldn't take on anyone else. So the OT that with home health made it possible for Phoebe to be trained, assessed and trained, and she became my first service dog.
So you actually turned your pet into a service dog?
I did.
I didn't know that from the last episode. Wow.
Yeah. So
how did that happen? I mean, it just seems to me that you got to train these dogs, at their very early stages.
That's
in order to do that. And so she must have been a very intelligent, very loyal dog.
She was, and I had always wanted a standard poodle. My aunt had one, Rowena had one, and I adored Bonbon. Our children gave me my first standard poodle when I would turn to 50. Our children and my husband. And I started training Phoebe right at the very beginning.
That was before you formed...
Before I knew, I had no idea what the next day was going to bring. But so for 2 years, she had training. She was off lead. She was perfectly behaved. Of course, she was a pet, so she didn't go everywhere with me. But she was extremely well trained. So a lot of times, people say, oh, my dog is really well behaved and can be a service dog. And because of that, we've just started a course with Mobility Dog where we say, okay, do you have an ADA-coded disability? If you do, then why don't you bring your dog in and we'll assess it? And that's basically what happened with Phoebe, is that back then you didn't train your own dog, but there was a woman who was with guide dogs that assessed Phoebe and saw that she was amazing and that she truly could step into the role of service, which she did.
Wow.
And so we are offering that to people now because during the pandemic, so many fraudulent dogs appeared. And everybody wanted their baby with them, their child, their grandchild's dog, whatever they referred to them as. And so when there's somebody with a disability that is, a permanent disability, not temporary, but a permanent disability, we are assessing the dogs now and are offering a Train Your Own Service Dog course through Mobility Dogs.
And this is a new program.
This is a new program.
Okay,
it's a pilot program.
Okay.
Because we've had so many people, Don, so many people say, oh, my dog could be a service dog. And it's like, really? Well, let's see. So now we have a means, and it's really good for everybody because it keeps the fraudulent dogs or the dogs that really aren't service dogs. Being a pet is honorable, too. You know, being a pet is a good thing. It's wonderful.
It's a good gig.
It's a good gig. So we decided to find another way to educate people. And yeah, it might be a really well-behaved dog, but it's not for public access.
Sure. So you're in a position, you and your team can figure that out for people. And you're not there to say no to people, but you're there to give people an opportunity to make it work. And if it doesn't, then you've got to look them in the eye and say, sorry, but your pet's not, ready for that.
Right.
Are there any success stories besides your own where you've converted or trained or whatever the word you use to take a pet and put that pet in the position of being a service dog?
There are lots of people that do it. We've worked with 2 that have successfully done it out of about 108.
So 108 people have come to you?
Saying
and only 2 of them
their
were
dogs, they knew that their dog was a service dog. Absolutely.
Okay. Well, those are tough odds.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're saying, unfortunately, way more times, you're saying, no, you're going to have to probably get yourself a different dog for that purpose.
Right. And so what we do, though, which can be a really nice success, is we say, you know what? But it could be a companion dog for you. So in the house, it could help you with tasking. In the house, it could learn how to press a 911 button for an emergency. In the house, it can help collect your clothes and put them in the laundry bin. They're not for public access. So in the home, so a lot of times people continue and will take the course and they will learn and get stronger and a better relationship. So they're not taking the dogs out as anything but a pet. But in the home, the dog's able to help them more, which sometimes gives a lot of relief to themselves and to their families.
Wow.
Sometimes they don't need that extra aid there as often.
Right.
They can help them balance to go to the bathroom, to transfer, to different things like that. But they're reactionary to other dogs or they're reactionary to other humans. But within the safety of the home, the companion dog can make a big difference.
Oh, I'm thinking about all of the expenses that go along with aging and the inability to take care of yourself. And there's always people that I'm running into talking about, the health care system being overloaded with folks that can't afford to have that extra care.
Yes.
But a dog could help you. So you're able to train people's dogs to be companion dogs as well? Okay.
And to teach the people we're teaching the human. The dogs get it. It's the human that is our more struggling point because they know what to do and they know how to do it. But when they're a really good listener and when it's something they want and they're willing to follow directions and being consistent, then, magic happens.
Okay.
And it's wonderful. And, isolation is much worse than a diagnosis. It's much more devastating. So if people can see their diagnosis as just a statement and keep living their life and find the tools. So in the home, maybe they have a companion dog they can work with. Or if they want to get a service dog, have a service dog or a walker or crutches, but realize that all these things are tools to live their dreams. Because once we start isolation, then everything goes downhill.
So they serve a purpose that's a psychological purpose in addition to the pragmatic day-to-day tasks that they could have. So yeah, I think it's amazing how we love our dogs, and it seems like we love our dogs more now than we did when the generation before us. I was telling my wife, that I grew up with dogs, but a dog, you didn't see people walking their dogs. You didn't see people taking their dogs to the vets as much, worrying about leaving them home alone and all this. But I think people have come to realize that they're part of the family. Right. And when you have that relationship, then I think there is that psychological comfort.
It is. Yeah. And it makes people stronger. They're not going home to that empty house. Or they're not going home to that person that's supposed to be there to help them that maybe doesn't listen as well as their dog does.
Yeah.
I mean, all those pieces.
Yeah.
And it can be a positive. But, I never want people to romanticize it either.
Right.
Because having a dog's a lot of work.
Sure.
You need to take care of it.
Big responsibility.
It's a big responsibility. Be it a service dog, they're on 85% of the time. And they need to do zoomies. They need to play catch. They're not robots. And any dog, a companion dog, they need to have that dog time because it's that canine spirit that we love and that makes them so, a service dog so magical.
Yeah. So where are you located these days?
I'm looking at your picture over here on the wall. We are right next to the appellate court.
Oh, you are?
At the Western Justice Center. It's fabulous. There's 19 nonprofits. 19 nonprofits there, and we all have the mission of justice and education. And the Western Justice Center rents it to us, and then they keep the building up.
Very nice.
I don't know if you know the history of that building.
I know it was a grand hotel. I know that during the Great Depression, it became a hospital of sorts, and especially during World War II, it became a military hospital.
Yes.
Then it went into decay, and then the Court of Appeal took it over.
Right.
And those little cottages around there, when I moved to Pasadena, they were still dilapidated. Now they're these grand, beautiful homes, restoring them to the original guy that had was a doctor or something that had invested in those things.
So when it was a hotel, people would come to the hotel and they'd see this land and they'd say, "Oh, I want to build a cottage here." And the hotel would say, "Okay, you can do that, and you can have it for 10 years." So cottages were built, and that family owned that cottage per se for 10 years. Typically, it was during a very active time with children growing and then they gave it back to the hotel.
Oh.
And then those buildings fell into disrepair, especially those 4. And they were going to tear them down. They were going to make them into condos, yada, yada, yada. And a judge, and my apologies for not remembering her name right now, but she was a stellar woman. And she kept walking out going, "Really? Really?" So she got a bunch of attorneys in town. They put money in a pot, and they bought the buildings, refurbished them, then gave them to the city of Pasadena with the stipulations that they would rent it out for $1 a year to a nonprofit that works with justice and education and helps people with the understanding
So is that
the
where
system.
you're located? Is one of those old cottages then?
Yes.
Okay.
So,
I don't think I've ever seen those cottages. What I've seen are I actually have clients that own those houses that
Down
are there.
below.
And those used to be part of the hotel as well. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. So these 4 cottages, the Western Justice Center.
Well, congratulations.
owner.
'Cause
Yeah,
the
and
last
so
time we
it's
spoke, you were looking
wonderful.
for some place, and
We
you found
were.
it. Good.
So it's exciting. So it's been a longer time. It's been over 3 years, I think, since we've spoken.
I would say so.
Yeah.
And do you take advantage of the location near the Arroyo to do your dog training?
We take advantage for our walks, for our walkabouts and stuff.
Okay.
We meet the first Saturday of every month, all of our service dogs. We have 47 service dog teams that we've matched.
Wow.
And we have 36 of those are working dog teams. We meet the first Saturday of every month for training. That's something different we do. Our dogs, all of our handlers know how to train their own dogs,
Okay.
how to work with their dogs. A lot of organizations, you come and get the dog and they say, "See ya," and off you go.
So let me ask you that then. So when you say that there's 47 service dogs, is that what you're saying? Teams
that we've placed.
Those are people that are using your services and they keep coming back for training?
Yes.
Okay, that's a lot of people.
Yes.
Wow.
So we have, and out of those, there's 36 working service dog teams still.
Okay.
Some of the 47 have passed away.
Okay.
Or things have happened. Life is unfolded.
So your capacity is kind of like 47, but right now you're at 36?
That's just, we're 8 years old.
Okay.
And so that's just what we've done so far.
Okay.
We have a PAWS program. That is a fabulous educational program we take into the school. And with the current occupant of the White House, so many of the laws are being challenged for disability rights. So I feel really honored that we have taken this position and are able to go out to the schools and talk to the kids about what an invisible disability looks like, and what compassion and what integrity means, and what empathy and equality and equity and all these words that we love to throw out. And, we see them a lot now, but they actually have the heart of them. And, when we leave, the schools say, there's less bullying, there's more inclusive behavior. So it's a win-win. But we talk about those things that, people need to understand their rights, basic civil rights.
Right. Right. So you're bringing the dogs into the schools?
We do.
Okay.
We do. We bring our
The
service
kids gotta
dog
love that,
teams.
I would think.
Usually 2 or 3 teams come, and we sit on the ground and we read them a story, even the high school students.
Wow.
And then the high school students join us to go to the younger groups, because the younger kids just, they love the older kids. You bring the older kids in and they listen differently.
Yeah.
And we do an art program so they take it home and they can share it with their parents and remind, and just spread that little ripple effect. And then we have a WAG program that we take into restaurants, dental offices, Social Security office, the California Fishing
WAG
Games.
program?
WAG, we call
That's
it.
a catchy name, so tell me what that is.
It's worthwhile. I just lost the name of it. Just a minute. It is Workplace Accessibility Guidance. And PAWS is promoting awareness, wisdom, and strength.
Ah.
And the Workplace Accessibility Guidance is public access. So anyone that has public access, we go in and talk to them about, it's like, oh, it's so expensive to make it so it's handicap accessible. It's like, no, it's not. It's just being sensible.
Yeah.
And so we'll move a couple racks, or we'll rearrange, or we'll talk to them and let them know, yes, you can ask a service dog to leave when it's not a service dog, or if it's not behaving. So we give them the words to use and let them know how they can welcome everybody and make their place accessible for everyone.
It really sounds like you've expanded quite a bit since you were last here.
Yeah.
I do remember that you talking in the past about where your clientele comes from, if lack of a better term, the folks that are availing themselves of your services. And it's not just the immediate geographic area. I remember hearing people from Orange County were coming up here. And
Yes.
how is that still how it's working for you?
Yes. So Los Angeles, Orange County, Southern Ventura County, and Northern San Diego County
It's a big
is
territory.
kind of, and we have a couple people up in Fresno area, but mostly because we meet on first Saturdays. So first Saturdays, we all come together. We train the dogs. Sometimes we go into our conference room just like this, and well, not as fancy, but it's nice. And the dogs just sit there next to each other.
Aw.
And we take somebody and walk around, and they just learn to ignore each other. That's huge training.
The dogs ignore each other? Or
Yeah,
ignore
the dogs
people?
the dogs just we talk and we interchange, and we get up and intentionally give extra big hugs and to get the dogs so that everyone's just chilling.
Wow.
So we expose them to all these things their entire working life. We also started going on field trips. Supervisor Lindy Horvat from 3rd District in Los Angeles gave us $7,500 that allowed us to do a field trip to a restaurant at the Music Center, Abernathy's. And then we went to the show, the Braid show at the Mark Tapper. And a lot of the people in our group, about 70% sensor injury, had never gone to a restaurant because it's different. They're drooling or they're missing their mouth, and they didn't want people to focus on them.
Aw.
But what they've learned is nobody pays any attention.
Good.
And here there were 30 of us. We had over 20 dogs under the table. And we just had fun. And I talked to the chef, and I told him, okay, we need finger food. We don't want to do we just need finger food. So he cut the French toast. He had dipping bowls. He was absolutely wonderful. We had the best time. Then we went to the Broad and went to the Italian restaurant next door, and they created everything so it was easy. And so we do that. Next, we're going to the Hospital of Emotions, which is an art display at the old St. Vincent Hospital on August 1st. And then Gus's drive-through is bringing us box lunches.
Oh, wonderful.
So getting people out, using the public transit, so people can be completely independent. And then we
Janie,
go
you're
together.
doing a lot more than just providing service dogs. I mean, you're providing a social network
Yes.
with people that we all need.
Yes.
And that dog that people have is just the commonality. You know, you have that, and it brings people together. But you're also creating friends and opportunities for people to enjoy life.
Yes,
I mean,
yes.
that's wonderful.
Because, I mean, yeah, for a minute it sucks, but guess what? This is it.
Yeah.
So let's own it, embrace it. We're working on planning a camping trip at an accessible campground
That
in
would be
Joshua
fun.
Tree.
Oh, my
Because
gosh.
so many people have never seen a dark sky.
Oh.
And so when you come home with a disability or DNA coded disease from the hospital, you come home with a book. And it tells you all the things that you can't do. All the things that, and it's about,
Yeah.
it's about liability. It's about protection. But so we take that book and we bow in gratitude and we put it over here and we say, so what do you want to do?
Now let's talk about the things that we can and will be doing.
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah. So it's fun. It's exciting. The people are just, people want to live their life and they don't want to hold anyone up. But what they've learned is it's just changing the language. Like, the kids would come by and say, hey, Mom, you want to go for a hike? And I used to say, yeah, give me a minute. Now I say, give me 35 minutes and I can go. And it's just, being realistic and,
Yeah.
As we change, as we get older, our disabilities change and that's okay. That's
Part
okay.
of life.
That's right.
It's embracing it.
Yeah.
So you're Phoebe. How long did she last after you turned?
Phoebe lived until she was 14, and she worked for 11 years.
Wow. So she actually started fairly young then.
Yes,
That's really
yeah.
awesome. And how many service dogs have you had since?
After she passed away, well, she was still with us, but time to retire her. Beckett, and I'm with Beckett right now.
Oh, okay.
Beckett will be 9 in October, and so we're starting to do things differently. My body is changing. And so I'm starting to use a walker now more. And so Beckett is at my side. And when my legs give out, he knows when it's going to happen. So he can lean into me.
Aw.
But right now I've got this walker and it's like he tries to get in there. And then I can catch myself. But then he comes over and leans into me. So we're figuring it out, how to do this different. I go between the walker and the wheelchair and Beckett, but mostly walker and the Beckett right now. And so we learn to figure it out together, but he's always there, always, ready to
Nice.
go. And, we're a good team.
Well, like anybody in this world, there should be a exercise regimen of some sort. Even people that aren't 100%, right?
Yep.
So, do you incorporate the dogs into exercise regimens as well?
So the dogs go with everyone to physical therapy. We encourage people to hike and get out, to walk, to whatever that looks like, roll, whatever that looks like, to be out in nature and to move. We had one person, and I have permission to share, and they could move just a finger, and I might have shared this before. Everything was that, but guess what? They started moving the finger more. And we always have occupational therapists, physical therapists, and speech therapy students that work with us. They're on, we work. And so they started using this, and then suddenly they're getting more movement with their whole hand. So it's that movement, and that, I chose a walker that has me stand tall, like next to my dog. So it keeps my muscles and keeps the blood flowing throughout. So we're using it longer. And it's just, you just do it.
Yeah.
And nobody said it was going to be easy, but it sure is fun to keep moving and keep going and keep doing stuff.
Yeah.
It's so
You know
important.
you're doing well for yourself, and it's sure nice to have a companion help you. It
Yes.
would seem like.
So good. When I get home, like tonight when I get home, and Beckett hasn't been with me, he'll be at the elevator.
Aw.
He will go, he'll hear my car pull in, he'll go get Bob, and he'll have Bob open the door because we had to make the door so he couldn't open it and go out. And then Bob will open it and he'll be at the elevator, either at our floor or he will have taken the elevator down to the floor where I am and comes and greets me.
It's amazing.
So it's like, okay, I'm here. What do you need? What are we going to do next?
So service dogs have the same needs that every dog has, to the
They
extent
do.
that they need to be walked, I presume.
Absolutely. They
Okay.
need to be exercised. They need to do zoomies and run around. They need to be fed. They need to be cared for. They need to be, especially service dogs, need to be groomed because we're going into restaurants, we're going into grocery stores, we're going into all these places on the plane, on the buses. So they need to be groomed, and they need to, mind their manners.
Which you've trained them well to do.
Yeah.
So are there any upcoming events that we should know about?
We have 2 upcoming events.
Tell us about it.
Thank you for asking. We have October 5th, and I'm so excited. So we have our birthday party. And long story short, which I'm not good at, but I'll try, we used to always have our big event in the fall during the Disability Awareness Months in the fall. But it got too hot. And I don't know if you know, but people with spinal cord injuries don't sweat.
Ooh, I think I did hear about that. Okay.
And so in the heat, their organs will shut down. So we moved our huge event to the spring, and we changed our birthday party to October and have reflections of our birthday year. And that's coming up October 5th. And we met some people and went to a croquet tournament.
Oh my gosh, my favorite sport.
Oh my gosh! So do you know Jiminy Wicket?
I do it in my front yard. I do it at the Pasadena Bar Association.
Okay.
But where do you guys do it?
So we're looking for a place right now. We were supposed to be at the Maxwell House for our 5th birthday party, but we're looking to see. And so Jiminy Wicket is a nonprofit that makes croquet for people with disabilities.
Oh, how cool.
So for our 5th birthday,
Will that be fun?
we're going to have croquets for everyone to play. Everybody can play.
Where's the field going to be to play?
Well, that's the part where stay tuned.
Okay.
Stay
Well,
tuned.
Victoria Park is a pretty large area.
They have
for
a
that.
good area.
Yeah.
And we're looking also at the Elks Club, Elks Lodge.
Okay.
They have a big room because they do this indoors.
Oh, they do it indoors. Okay.
And with the weather being so janky,
Okay.
I don't know. We maybe should be indoors. Who knows what the temperature will be? I don't know. But so we're really excited about that. So it's going to be our
Have you ever played
first.
croquet?
As a kid, but not
Okay.
as an adult.
Okay. Well, you're gonna have to go and get yourself a fancy hat.
I know, right?
Beautiful dress.
White.
Right. So you can be proper, and then you can be mean when you start playing because you start knocking the other person's ball off. And what are the dogs doing? What's
So they'll
what's
be
their
right.
part?
They'll be right by our side.
They're not going to go chasing after the ball?
A couple might,
Okay.
but they'll learn quickly that that's not okay. That's not proper etiquette.
Okay. Maybe you
so
can make
it
it part
should
of
be-
the sport. Have the dogs competing.
So we're really excited. The wheelchairs can go on the court. Everybody can.
Oh, cute.
However you present,
Yeah.
that's how you play. So
Cool.
we're really excited. But it's going to be October 5th, and our website is mobilitydog.org. Right now it's going to be between 1 and 4. And so we could be at the Western Justice Center and take over the street in front.
That would be cool.
Or we could do it inside. I haven't talked to them, so we can't talk about it yet. But so there's possibilities. So we're excited
Take
about
lots of
that.
photographs.
Yes.
That sounds like a ball.
But it's open to the public.
Good.
And come and learn about who we are.
Okay.
We will have a Mexican lunch out that will be cooked fresh.
Nice.
Fresh tortillas and everything. And just a lot of fun celebrating. And a thank you to everyone who supports us and people just to come and get to know us.
Awesome.
And then in the spring, we do the Accessibility Resource Fair. And we've done it now for 8 years. This will be our 8th year. Pasadena City Hall, right in the square, Centennial
I
Square.
call it the plaza. Yeah.
The plaza, yes.
Yeah.
And it was fabulous. We had over 1,000 guests.
Wow.
And 84 vendors. And when people left there, they came with their families. Every disability except Parkinson's was represented, and we're working on that for next year.
Good.
But it was represented through Easter seals and
Okay.
stuff. But everybody left knowing that, hey, I can go live my life. I've got everything I need to go live my life.
Nice.
And it's about barrier-free, inclusive communities for all. And we're just really pushing those pieces and letting everyone know, yeah, you're here today, but who knows what tomorrow? And let's make it accessible for all of us. Why not?
Why not?
Why not?
Give everybody the opportunity to love life. Yeah. Okay. So, Janie, thank you so much for coming back over here.
Thank you.
You guys have a special place in my heart, because of the mission And I could just tell that, you're growing and you haven't lost, anything with regard to your passion and your drive to do this. And we're very fortunate to have you, as the CEO and to form this thing and then to keep it going like the way that you are. Thank you.
Thank you. And I just want to do a shout out to our donors, because everything is because of the current situation, because we represent disabilities, we represent accessibility. We are not allowed any any foundation that takes even 1 penny of federal funds. And Mary E. Bowser Foundation has been such a gift to us.
Good.
They're the reasons we got our building to begin with, and they continue supporting us. So I want to give a shout out to that amazing organization and to all of our people, all of our individuals that donate to us. But funding is hard right now, especially for people with anything with diversity, equity, and inclusion in their statements. So I just want to say thank you to everyone listening and to you for supporting us and for keeping things going.
Okay, well,
because it's together.
I got to
we
come
can
and
do this.
visit you soon. I want to see the new
Yes,
place over there. So
please do.
Cool. And maybe my wife and I can
Would love to.
join you over there. So good. Thank you very much, and thank you. I hope that you really enjoyed this. If you have any questions for Janie, feel free to email us or just email her directly, and we'll have the credits on the screen here for you. Thank you again for joining us.